I always had a fascination with abandoned places, so as soon as I heard about this old asylum on the outskirts of town, of course, I had to go and explore it. It was rumoured that the asylum had been shut down after reports of mistreatment surfaced. Patients were left to fend for themselves, and the doctors were commonly known to experiment on them. As I entered the asylum, I was overcome with a feeling of both excitement and fear. The building was old, and its walls had started to crumble. The windows were boarded up, and the doors creaked when I opened them. Despite all that, there was something alluring about the place. I wandered around the asylum for what seemed like hours, inspecting the old examination rooms, the patient wards, and the doctor's offices. But as I passed a large dilapidated door, I heard something unusual coming from the other side. As I approached the door, I realised it was locked from the outside. It was strange, as none of the other rooms in the asylum had been locked away. I fumbled with my keys, trying to find the right one to unlock the door. Just as my fingers touched the door handle, I was overcome with a strange sensation. Someone or something was watching me. Suddenly, I heard whispers coming from behind me. I spun around, but no one was there. The sensation of being watched hadn't gone away, however. I tried to shrug off the feeling and reopened the door. The room appeared to be a patient room, bed, chair, and a small bedside table with a water jug on it. But before I had time to take in my surroundings, I felt a cold hand wrap around my neck. The room spun and I stumbled backward, crashing onto the old patient bed. The odd experience felt as though I was being met by something I couldn't see, my body being taken over by the spirit of a former patient. I caught a glimpse of a ghostly figure near the door. She was dressed in patient garb and her hair was a mess of unkempt strands. She looked angry and had an intense expression on her face. "And get out of my room!" she shouted. And that's when I realised it was her. I tried to get out of the room, but as I turned to the door, it slammed shut. My eyes darted around the room, looking for an escape route, but the windows were boarded up. "What do you want?" I asked, trying to be calm. "I want justice. They hurt me here. They experimented on me. They called it treatment," she replied in a low, angry voice. "You want me to help?" "Yes, I need your help. Lend me your body so I can seek revenge on the doctors who hurt me." This time, as her hands reached for me, they were no longer cold. Her touch was as warm as human touch. As she entered my body, I felt my soul being taken over. My body began to convulse, my limbs twitching. But before I lost control of my body altogether, something strange happened. The ghostly figure began to melt away and the room changed shape. The decrepit walls and dim lighting were no longer there. Instead, I was standing in a brightly lit room with machines and monitors everywhere. Doctors and nurses roamed the hallways, and patients with electrodes attached to their heads lay motionless in beds. In that moment, I realised that the former patient was seeking an escape from her reality. Her experience was a psychotic episode, and she wasn't a danger to herself or anybody else. The doctors, unable to help her because of their lack of understanding of her illness, resorted to experiments. The experience made me realise how important it is to treat mental health with utmost care and sensitivity. Mental illness doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, and is not something to be taken lightly or ignored. The experience also left me with a newfound appreciation for life, for the things that make us human, and for the relationships we share with those around us.